Today, we're looking at something that might seem pretty simple at first glance, but I think it's actually super interesting. We've got an entertainment news article about Kris Jenner's birthday message to Paris Hilton. And
Yeah.
it's not just any birthday post. You know, it really kind of like reveals a whole lot about celebrity relationships, like history branding, all that kind of stuff.
Right. It really speaks to how these like powerful families kind of work together in a way.
Yeah, totally. So let's jump right in. The article talks about how Kris Jenner posted this birthday message for Paris, and she calls her, you know, an incredible mother, wife, sister, and the most amazing businesswoman and entrepreneur.
Wow.
I know, right?
That's a mouthful.
It is. It's a lot to fit in. But here's the thing. She signs it off as Auntie Kris.
Oh, that's interesting.
What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, it definitely shows they're close, right? But it's more than that, I think. Like, Kris is kind of positioning herself as this, you know, like wise figure, almost like a matriarch.
Yeah.
Someone with real influence.
Yeah. And it's all happening very publicly, too. Right? So it adds to that whole image of, you know, like they're really tight. Like they have this long history.
Absolutely. So like it's all very carefully crafted.
And Paris is playing right along. She reposted this super glam selfie of them together.
Oh, I saw that. Both of them with bangs and diamonds.
Totally. Giving off those like old Hollywood vibes.
Yeah, and that's not an accident, right? It's a way of connecting them, you know, to something beyond just reality TV. Like their connection has history. It goes way back.
Right, like it's giving legitimacy.
Exactly.
And here's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
It's not just Kris and Paris in the photos, right? We see Paris's sister, Nikki, her mom, Kathy Hilton, family friend, Faye Risnick.
Wow, a whole crew.
I know. And even Kim Kardashian pops up in a photo from like a Hilton family holiday party.
Wow, so it's like a reminder of all their connections.
Totally.
You know, like subtly reinforcing their power as this network.
It's like they're saying, look at all the people we know.
Exactly. And it's not just about showing off, it's strategic. You know,
Oh, definitely.
Like they're reminding everyone of their collective brand.
It's all about that influence.
Right.
So tell me about their history. The article says Kris and Kathy have been friends for a long time, even before their families were famous.
Yeah, that's true. It's not just a recent thing, you know.
Interesting. So it's more than just maintaining a public image.
Right. There's real history there.
That's kind of cool, actually. Like a real friendship underneath all the fame.
It makes you wonder how much that friendship shaped their families', you know, paths to fame.
Yeah, like did they help each other out? Or was it more like a friendly competition? I'd love to know the stories behind it all.
Who knows? Maybe someday we'll get the tell-all book.
Right. Okay, so we've got these two families with this long history, and now they're both super famous.
Yeah, it's like their lives have mirrored each other in a way.
Totally. So do you think that shared history like plays a role in how they navigate the whole celebrity world?
Oh, absolutely. That kind of bond, you know, built on shared experiences outside the spotlight, that's got to be invaluable in an industry that can be, well, you know, kind of ruthless.
Oh, for sure. There's definitely a lot of pressure and competition in that world.
So, yeah, having that trust and understanding that comes from a long-term friendship is probably a huge advantage.
Makes sense. It's like you have each other's backs no matter what.
Exactly. And that kind of support can make all the difference when you're dealing with the ups and downs of fame.
Yeah, especially when everyone's watching your every move.
Right. So it's not just about the glitz and glamour, you know, there's a whole lot more going on behind the scenes.
Totally. And this birthday post, it's like a little window into that world.
Absolutely. It gives us a glimpse into how these powerful families operate and how they use their connections to stay on top.
It's all about strategy and relationships.
And knowing how to play the game.
Exactly. Well, on that note, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back to dive even deeper into this fascinating dynamic. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're back, and we're talking about this really interesting dynamic between the Kardashians and the Hiltons. Like, their lives have kind of mirrored each other.
Yeah, in a way.
They both ended up super famous, but they got there in like totally different ways, right?
Yeah, you could say that the Hiltons come from like old money, you know?
Right, like they were already rich and famous before reality TV.
Exactly. And that gives them a different kind of power. It's not just about being in the spotlight. It's about their family name and their history.
Yeah, like they have a whole legacy behind them.
Right, and that kind of legacy opens doors, you know? It gives them access to a whole different level of society.
It's like they were born into a world that most people could only dream of.
Yeah, pretty much. But what's interesting is that they haven't shied away from the whole entertainment thing. Like Paris especially, she really embraced it.
Yeah, she was like one of the first socialites to really get the whole reality TV thing going.
Right, The Simple Life was huge, and it paved the way for a whole new wave of celebrities.
It's like she turned being famous into a career.
Exactly, and she's done a great job of staying relevant, From her DJing to her business ventures, she's always got something going on.
And her mom, Kathy Hilton, she's a reality TV star now too, right? On The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
She's great on that show.
She's so funny.
And it's like a perfect example of how the Hiltons have adapted to this new world of fame. They've taken their old money prestige and made it work for them in this modern media landscape.
It's like they've reinvented themselves for a new generation.
Exactly. So you've got the Kardashians, who built their brand from the ground up through savvy business deals and media manipulation. And then you've got the Hiltons, who were born into privilege but have still managed to find a way to stay relevant in this new world of entertainment.
And now they're kind of coming together with this birthday post. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's like a merging of two powerful families.
So what do you think it all means? Like, could this lead to more collaborations between them?
I think it's definitely possible.
Like, imagine a Kardashian-Hilton reality show. That would be wild.
Yeah, or maybe some joint business ventures. They both have huge followings and a ton of influence.
It would be a marketing dream.
Right. So I think this birthday post is just the beginning. It's a sign that these two families are finding ways to work together and amplify their reach.
It's all about maximizing their power.
Exactly. And they both understand that connections are key. In the world of fame and fortune, your network is everything.
So what can we learn from all this? Like, for those of us who aren't born into a famous family or have millions of followers?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that relationships matter. It's not just about who you know, it's about cultivating those relationships and nurturing them over time.
Like putting in the effort to build genuine connections.
Exactly. And when the time is right, knowing how to leverage those connections to achieve your goals.
It's like playing the long game.
Right. And it's not just about fame and fortune. This applies to any industry,
Oh, totally. Whether you're trying to build a business or climb the corporate ladder or even just make new friends.
It's all about building a strong network.
It's like the foundation for success.
Exactly. So I think the Kardashians and the Hiltons are like a case study in how to do it, right? They understand the power of relationships and they're not afraid to use it.
And they're not afraid to evolve and adapt with the times.
Right. They're always looking for new ways to stay relevant.
So maybe we can all learn a thing or two from them.
Absolutely. I think there are valuable lessons here for everyone.
So let's keep diving deeper into this world of celebrity and see what other insights we can uncover.
I'm game if you are.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the theory behind these powerful celebrity families and like how they use their connections. But let's get into some specifics.
Okay, yeah, let's look at some examples.
Let's start with the Kardashians. Like their rise to fame. That's a whole story in itself.
Right. It's like a masterclass in building a brand.
Totally. So they were kind of known because of their dad's connection to the O.J. Simpson trial, right?
Yeah, that definitely put them on the map. But they weren't like huge stars back then.
Right. It was their reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians that really made them famous.
Exactly. And that show was so smart, like it was all about showcasing their lifestyle and their connections.
Yeah, every episode was like a who's who of Hollywood.
Right, like you'd see them hanging out with other celebs, going to fashion shows, partying with musicians.
It was like they were giving everyone a glimpse into this exclusive world.
Exactly, and it totally worked. Like people were obsessed.
And then they were so good at using that platform to launch all their businesses.
Oh yeah, like they had their clothing lines, their makeup brands, their apps.
It seemed like every week there was a new Kardashian product hitting the market.
And they were smart about it, They didn't just put their name on anything. They partnered with established brands and used their massive social media following to promote everything.
Like those deals with Calvin Klein and Adidas.
Exactly. Those were huge. And it wasn't just about the money. It was about solidifying their status as fashion icons.
Yeah, they really understood how to build a brand.
Totally. So that's the Kardashians. Now what about the Hiltons?
Yeah, they're a different story, right? Like they come from this old money background.
Yeah, their family name has always been associated with wealth and luxury.
Like they were famous for being rich.
Right, and they had access to this whole level of society that most people could only dream of.
Like they were the original influencers.
Exactly, but what's interesting is that they haven't been afraid to embrace the world of entertainment, too.
Like Paris with The Simple Life.
Yeah, that show was a phenomenon.
And she really paved the way for a lot of other socialites who wanted to be famous.
Totally, and she's still going strong. She's a DJ, she has her own businesses, she's even writing books.
And her mom, Kathy, is killing it on Real Housewives.
Yeah, she's a natural.
It's like the Hiltons have found a way to make their old money image work in this new world of reality TV.
Exactly. So you've got the Kardashians, who built their brand through hard work and media savvy. And then you've got the Hiltons, who leveraged their family name and their connections to stay relevant.
And now they're kind of coming together in a way with this birthday post.
Yeah, it's like two dynasties merging.
So what can we learn from all this? Like, what's the takeaway for the average person?
Well, I think the big of the lesson is that relationships are important no matter what you do in life.
Like building genuine connections with people?
Exactly, because you never know when those connections might come in handy.
And it's not just about using people, it's about having a strong network of support.
Right, people who you can trust and who have your back.
Because life is unpredictable, and you never know when you might need a helping hand.
So build those relationships, nurture them, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it.
And I think the Kardashians and the Hiltons, they're a good reminder that it's never too late to reinvent yourself.
Yeah, like if they can adapt to this crazy world of fame and fortune, then we can all find ways to evolve and grow.
Totally. So keep learning, keep connecting, and don't be afraid to chase your dreams.
Well said. And on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive.
Thanks for joining us. It's been a fascinating journey.
Absolutely. And as always, we encourage you to keep exploring and keep asking questions.
Because that's what the deep dive is all about.
Until next time, folks.
See ya.